Hi everyone, welcome to No Nonsense Whisky. It's Vin here, as always, and today I'm down in the Skinny Boy Shack. This is Mike from SkinnyBoyBBQ. We've done a few collabs over the years, and today we've got a really excellent opportunity to do a cook and some whisky. Now, before we get into the actual whisky itself, I'll show it to you. We've got the GreatDrams here, the Barbecue blend, risk it for a brisket, and I thought, where better to take this than to Mike over here, who's been cooking a brisket for how long?
21 hours and what will be 2.5 hour rest period. Longest cook for me.
Yeah, it's massive. It's massive. But before we get into the actual whiskey, what I wanted to do is talk a little bit about the brisket, so you guys know what we're talking about. But Mike's going to do a sort of a sister video to this over on his channel, which I'll links in the description below. How did you make this thing? I'll do some B-roll and whatnot as well. But this is a Traeger.
So Traeger Timberline XL is their new kind of flagship pit. It's a pellet grill. So it's the same functionality as your oven at home. So you literally come out, turn the temperature to where you want to go, press the button, and that's it, you're away. So I started the brisket last night, got it from Bob's Family Butchers down in Hatfield. They kindly sent us the brisket to kind of go along with this video. They're my go-to for all of my kind of barbecue cuts of meat. They just deliver it, it's fantastic. But got it trimmed up. Put it on the Traeger, using whiskey pellets, by the way. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
No.
Nice.
Traeger's launched out some whiskey pellets. They're quite new. So we've been cooking this for 21 hours on a bag of whiskey pellets. And yeah, 200 degrees Fahrenheit on the super smoke feature. So this is going to be quite hopefully go well with this, because this has got a bit of a smoky element to it.
A little smoky element to it, for sure.
But yeah, and then it comes out. You wrap it in a towel at 9 AM. I did it this morning. So we had about 12 and a half hours on this super smoke throughout the night. Wrapped it in a towel, in the butcher's paper, into the Yeti cooler, which we'll be getting at in a minute.
Now, it wouldn't be a whiskey video without a bit of a whiskey review, so I'm going to take the opportunity to talk to Mike about this one and let you guys know what it is as well, because I think barbecue enthusiasts are going to like this, but obviously, you guys know GreatDrams. This is a half-litre bottle, 48.2%, and it sells for 40 quid on their website. But, again, top blokes for GreatDrams for sending this over to us for the review.
Thank you.
Now, the cool thing about this, it's a blended Scotch whisky. We don't know the actual whiskies that are in it, but what I can tell you is, and it actually conveniently says it on the back, it's a sherry cask peated whisky from the Highlands, a grain from the Lowlands, and some other surprises to create a whisky befitting a neat dram or two. So yeah, I almost said meat then, but I've got it on my brain. I really am hungry. But yeah, let's check out the nose. Cheers, dude.
Cheers, dude.
Now, I'm not sure about you, but for me, I can tell this is quite grain forward, but in a good way. I think this is, it says again on here, this is aged 12 years in an ex-bourbon barrel, so I'm not sure how they've mixed that around to age it or whatnot, but it sounds like a pretty good idea to me. I'm quite adept at peat these days, so I can't really get much smoke on it, but I don't know how you feel about that. Are you getting much smoke on this?
Well, you know that I'm kind of anti-peat. Vin's been trying to get me to kind of develop my palate so that I have more of an appreciation for peat.
Somewhat successfully, I might add. I think you've been enjoying the ones I bring over.
There's been a couple where, do you know what, I could carry on. It's not been too bad. There's been a couple where I think he's secretly trying to kill me. But there is a little smoky smell to this, but nothing that would turn me away from. So if you don't quite like that peated smoky flavour or smell, this actually doesn't have. It's not offensive. It's actually quite nice.
Absolutely, and the kind of the sherry nature of it is quite nicely blended in there as well. For me, you guys know I don't like some sherry casks because I get a bit of sulphur, and I'm not getting that on this at all. That kind of like burnt match vibe. Don't get any of that on this. Let's try.
We drink it now.
You can drink it. Let's drink it. It's doing it with somebody else. Now, the cool thing about this, I don't know about you again, but at 48.2%. It doesn't taste like 48.2%. Much, I don't want to use the dreaded S word. It's much smoother than that. It's much more gentler than that.
Smooth.
Yeah, and I'm getting more of those.
48?
48, yeah, 48.2.
I would not have guessed that.
No, nor me. So yeah, it kind of, for me, it kind of brings out some caramel, some vanillas. Not too heavy on those sherry notes that I mentioned earlier, so that's good if you're not into the kind of really big sherry bombs and things like that. And towards the back end, once the fruitiness has gone, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a bit of kind of caskiness to it, a bit of tannins. Some of those smoky elements are coming through as well. Really, really gentle, like I said.
See, I got the smoky element right at the start.
Nice.
And then there was this sweet, and I was going to go with something like toffee, but you said caramel, which it works for me. That does.
Yeah.
And then the casky bit at the end. That's what It is nice though.
It's tidy, isn't it? Now,
yes.
I think tidy. Yeah. So what we'll do with this one now, because the plan, I mean, I haven't even seen this brisket yet.
Drink the bottle.
It's drink the bottle, but we're going to, that's the kind of my review of the whiskey itself, but now we're going to move over to opening up the brisket. We'll get some footage of cutting the brisket, and then we'll try this again once we've tried some brisket and see how it all goes together. Sound good to you?
This is only 40 quid a bottle.
40 quid for a half litre, yeah.
There's trouble ahead.
I think people are going to be interested. All right, so we'll see you on the on
brisket side.
I was going to say, I was literally about to say the brisket
side. It's like the dark side.
Yeah. See you in a mo. Heavy.
Smack the brisket up, smack the brisket up, smack the brisket up.
Oh, straight through. Oh my god. For the benefit of you people there, you didn't see that, but Mike was cutting into this and he picked up one side of it and it just literally fell apart while he was picking it up. Oh my days.
A good test for a brisket is when you've got it, you can just pull apart. Some people like it where you can bend it over and it still stays there. And I mean, that's how my briskets normally would be. However, this has been cooking for so long. It's so tender. It's like pulled brisket. Let's get to the eating. So we're going to go with the flat bit first. Go for it.
Yeah. Wasn't sure which bit to get. Right.
I've seen someone do this. Hold on.
Video over. Incredible brisket. Cannot speak. Oh my god. And even on the super smoke, I mean, I wouldn't have pinned you that as a super smoke. Okay, so we did a little bit of cutting it and eating it, and hopefully you've seen a bit of me kind of like losing my mind a little bit to this brisket. But now's the time to grab the glass again, grab a bit of brisket, and to do the two together. Put your boys in. Yeah.
Which one's first? Cheers.
Cheers. Meat first, I reckon. Oh, I mean, make sure you go and check out Mike's video on this, because he's been talking, I've just been eating this thing and just losing my mind. It's so good. Let's try the whiskey again.
Hang on,
I just need a minute.
I need a minute. For my guys, don't forget, that is a very tasty whiskey. Up in here as well. Right, now let's go for the whiskey.
Alright, cheers. Whoa.
Hello.
Now, okay, wow.
How's your auntie?
So, genuinely, that was our literally on-camera first try of that. And I don't know about you, but even though this is covered in rub, peppery goodness, I've just got a pepper explosion from this, a big spicy explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it smoke. The sherry has been even kind of like dialed down to this, but now I can taste the 48%. 100%.
And the only rub I've used on this is 3 parts kosher salt, 3 parts Lowry's seasoned salt, and 7.5 parts black pepper. I found, normally you would do 50-50, but I found with the Lowry's involved, you put a bit more pepper in it. But that changes this completely.
Now the funny thing is, we in the whiskey world, we sometimes add water. We sometimes do take, we do this a lot. We do food pairings and whatnot. And this could so easily.
Try the brisket now.
Try this one over here.
Right.
Which one? Which bit? Which bit?
Any bit.
Oh. Oh, it's changed the brisket. For me, that's. So I don't know if you talk about like flavour profiles in the barbecue world, but that's got a whole new salty element and an umami element to it. Do you know what I mean? Umami, which is that kind of like mushrooms tend to cover that like section a little bit. But yeah, they when they release something like this, it could have so easily just been a massive gimmick that they've just chucked something together, called it a barbecue blend, and it actually has no consequences with barbecue whatsoever. But I think, genuinely speaking, from 2 barbecue whiskey fans, that actually really works well.
Yeah. And it's going to be the quality of the brisket as well. You're not going to be able to do that with like a rolled brisket you find in a local butcher's. So
absolutely, yeah, and that's where Bob Stanley Butchers comes in, right? Absolutely. So yeah, I mean that's my video done with this one. Check out the links in the description below for all of these things: GreatDrams, SkinnyBoyBBQ, Bob Stanley Butchers, all that sort of stuff. And let us know in the comments if you want to see more collabs like this at all, because I can literally spit on Mike from my house. Have done on a couple of occasions.
Why would you sit on me?
Yeah,
This is our 3rd collab now?
3rd collab, I know, we should do more.
So we did the Japanese whiskey, that was the first one.
That was the Wagyu one as well.
Wagyu, again, that was from Mark at Bob Stanley Butchers. And where was the whiskey from?
That was from Mark Littler. He lent me that bottle because it was from the 80s, that a Yamazaki from the 80s. Yeah. And I unfortunately had to send that back. But then the other collab, it didn't actually show up on mine, but I came around to do suicide wings with you, didn't I?
No, we did the ribs. We did the taste test of the ribs.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were asking me, like, what's better to wrap the pork ribs in? Was it foil? Was it butcher's paper? Was it leave it out? And you chose butcher's paper as being your favourite, and I chose the foil.
Interesting.
And you didn't know because you didn't see it. And then we did the suicide wings, which part 2 is coming up of suicide wings, by the way. Yeah. Part 2.
Turn it up to 11.
I've got some hot sauce.
Yeah, I want it. I literally, I mean, that one there, we did it last time. It was okay. It was definitely hot, but I want to cry. If I'm going to do suicide wings, I want to cry.
I'm going to make you bleed from your butt. Yeah. And then this one. So yes, if you want more collabs, let us know. Go and check Vin out at No Nonsense Whisky, guys. Come and check me out on SkinnyBoyBBQ. I'm never going to be a skinny man.
It's like Little John, right? It's ironic.
Yes. Cool. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Thank you for having me. There's 2 videos going on. 2. So it's fine. We're multitasking. See? No. Men can do it. Don't tell the wives. Cool.
See you later. Outtakes.
I should have been sucking my stomach in.
Professional face. Yes. YouTube. Oh no! Oh god, I just want to put my face in that. Got F1 going past as well.
Scare that joke.